We've hit two big milestones this week. One good one, one horrible one. The good one was 50 million vaccinations since President Biden took office, and that was 38 days ago as of today. He wanted 100,000 doses given in his first 100 days in office, and he's ahead of schedule, so that's a good thing. Me personally, I can't get the vaccine for another 2 months, and that's because I had COVID last month, and the immunity lasts for about 3 months. At least that's what the CDC, the contact tracers, and my doctor have been telling me, and they're the experts, so I'm going to listen to them. So I've got until April, which is kind of fitting since that's when I got sick the first time. But I want to talk a little bit about the bad milestone. 500,000 dead here in the United States. And I can't help thinking about how, number one, I don't think that's an accurate number, just because a lot of people, especially in the early days of the pandemic, doctors didn't know what they were looking for, and a lot of folks don't have medical coverage. So you have, people without health insurance, you have the homeless population, people dying of COVID, and it's not reported as such. So I do think that we reached that milestone a while ago. I don't have any solid facts to back this up. This is just, what I think. But 500,000 people, 500,000 people at least in the United States have died of COVID-19. And I keep thinking about how close my own spouse got to that weeks ago, with especially that 105-degree fever. And some friends of his who are in the medical profession with the God damn it, here's the brain fog again, with the symptoms he had, and those are the patients that oftentimes don't make it out, and the bay that they had him in was set aside for people who they didn't think were going to make it out. So yeah, dodged a big bullet there. We dodged a cannonball on that one. But going back to 500,000 dead, and I can't help thinking about how preventable a lot of these deaths would have been had we had better responses to the pandemic last year. Okay, so I've seen memes on Facebook about how at the beginning of the pandemic, there wasn't a lot known about the virus, and guidelines and advice and all that has changed because we've learned more. That's how science works. So I'm not bashing the medical professionals about that. I'm definitely not bashing Dr. Fauci. He was giving advice that he thought was appropriate based on the facts that he had at the time. He has more facts now. We have more empirical data, so he can make a much better informed opinion. I'm talking about the government, specifically the former occupant of the White House, who kept playing the pandemic down. Now, on the 16th of next month, we will be at 1 year since the state of California went into shelter in place. I still think we should be in shelter in place. Honestly, I've stated this before. I think we ought to have a complete nationwide shutdown for a few weeks, only essential people still going out and doing their, going to work, but keeping people in their homes as much as possible to stop the spread of disease. But people are more worried about the economy than people. And believe me, having gotten sick on the job, I understand. Believe me, I understand. But again, going back to the federal response, especially Trump, when he would say that it was going to just go away. Like a miracle, it would just go away. He was saying that, once the warmer weather in spring hit, the virus would just die out. He talked about injecting bleach into people or putting light inside the body to kill the disease. This is who we had running this. I I keep wondering how many people would still be with us if he had taken it seriously. I know a lot of these have been going more into politics, but politics is an important thing, especially with the pandemic. And it has just been horrible to see how we dealt with this. So we've lost 500,000 people, at least, in the United States to COVID-19, and I'm afraid of how many more we're going to lose. Hopefully, I mean, now we do have numbers dropping, which is a good thing. We have people getting vaccinated. That is a wonderful thing. But we're not out of the woods yet, so keep wearing your masks and stay safe.